RadNet, a stronger and more connected community. It's a vision for a better future.
What's going on, everybody out there? It's Garrett back at Born2beRad. We got a cool late night live stream for you guys tonight. This was a video I was planning on doing, and I said, you know what? Let's just get it over. Let's do it live, and let's get your guys' opinion as I'm kind of going through this, because when it comes to the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, my ranking's very interesting. I'm looking at this and I'm kind of ranking it in my head. I'm like, I don't know, maybe I could use some input from some of you guys, because it seems very kind of self-explanatory, I guess. There's no real hot takes, I don't think, on here too much, but it'll be cool to kind of do this because I've never ranked the Elm Street series before. I actually really haven't ever talked about the Elm Street series, a lot on this show. So again, it'll be interesting to kind of go through each one of these and kind of tell you where they fall, memories I have with these things. And again, we're going to be talking about the Nightmare on Elm Street and ranking all the films. Now, let me know down below. I have the remake in here. I have Freddy vs. Jason. Are we including those things or what? But guys, welcome to the show. We're talking Elm Street. Come say what's up. I'll get to the chat before we get started. What's going on? I see Gory Tiger in the house. What's up, man? Perry fans here. What's up, B Maga? Mama Blu-ray is in the house. What's going on, kid? Oh, thank you, man. It was it honestly was like so last minute. I was like, do I do it? Because it's gonna be a busy week and I don't know when I'm gonna put anything out. So I just had to get this thing done. My ranking off the top of my head would be oh boy. Working overnights. What's up, Doug? Oh, hell yeah, man. I guess that is cool. I love Elm Street. Is it my favorite big franchise? No, I'm still a Friday the 13th guy. But it's funny because I actually do kind of like all of these movies for what they are. There's not many I can say I dislike out of this group. So that's where these kind of rankings get interesting, because as much as I don't dislike any of these except for maybe one, where I rank these, people are going to assume I dislike them based on where they're ranked, but I really don't have much choice when it comes to where I put things. So this is where it always gets hard, is like when you actually do like a lot of these movies and you have to kind of put them in an order, so I'm kind of interested in what you guys have to say. Adrian James in the house. What's going on? Rob Romano, the Lost Boy. What's up, man? I don't want to read anybody's rankings yet. I can't do it. We'll get into that one. Oh my god. One Last Nightmare. I would love it. I really, really would. I think he could do it. Now people always ask me, do I want there to be another one? Like, do you want to take the franchise somewhere else? I don't really. I just don't know how you make this work without Robert. I really don't. I just don't. You can throw somebody under a mask all day and it can kind of work. Because I think the recent adaptations of Jason and Michael Myers have actually been really good. But I think when it comes to Freddy, it's just really hard because, it's got a specific look. It's not a mask. Robert and Freddy had a specific charm and a creepy factor to it. And I don't know. I don't know how it works. I really, really don't. It's a tough one. It really is. I just finished Hellraiser Bloodlines on Tubi. Which one's that one? Is that the newest one? If it was, I hated it. Which one's Bloodlines? I get these all confused, man. What was the last one? The newest one. Yo, my killer podcast. Ayo, kill that like button, radicals. You're right. Hit the like button if you're here. People are kind of popping in, so hit that like button. Really helps the show out. It's an easy way to support the channel by liking, sharing, and commenting. Definitely helps the channel out, and it costs you nothing to do that. And while you're at it, go check out My Killer Podcast. That's Mel, 1/3 of the Rad Pack. Go check her out. That is my podcast, and she is a co-host. So she's in here. Go check out her channel as well. John Doe Juggalo, what's going on, man? I am having a good night. Go check out John Doe Juggalo. James, I see you in there, man. I can't get to it yet. I don't wanna sway my opinions. I'll let you guys throw your rankings in at the end. Um, okay, I see people chiming in with their rankings. I wanna try to ignore it. What up, Dino? Just thinking about some great entertainment. Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad I can be entertainment to you guys. And again, if you're in the chat and you haven't said hi, come say hi. Even if you're new to the channel, come say hi and let me know you're new. I would love to see and interact with anybody who's checking this out for the first time or has never commented or anything before. Really, really appreciate that. So, I mean, we can kind of get down to it because it's going to take a bit. I can talk about each different one. I'll let you guys tell me I'm wrong. I'll let you guys tell me I'm right. I'll piss people off. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But Dawn of the Dudes in the house. What's up, man? Have I met anyone from Elm Street? Oh yeah. Geez, man. Off the top of my head, let me think. I'm going to look at some of these. Obviously, Robert Englund. That's a given. Obviously, Nancy, aka Heather. Jesse from Part Two. Robert Russler. Obviously Amanda, Kincaid, who else have I met? That may be it, maybe. Unless I'm missing somebody important, but I think that's probably it. I mean, I've met Catherine Isabel from Freddy vs. Jason. I've met what's her name from Freddy vs. Jason as well. Holy moly, what's the main girl's name? I've met her as well. What is her name? Monica Keena. I met her too. Dylan, anyone know when that UK 4K edition of Elm Street ships out? I don't. I have it ordered. I don't know anything about it other than that. I can see that. I mean, it's funny because I will say this, and I'm going to say this now. Yes, I met Lisa Wilcox. Yes. It's funny you say that because growing up, I was always a Friday 13th fan, and when it came to Elm Street and Halloween, I can say there was a lot from both franchises that I did not like. I've grown to like them over the years, but in initial viewing, they were never ones that were my favorite. And I'll talk about that as I go through this. But later on in life, the more I watched them, the more I did appreciate them more. Both of them from both franchises. To be honest, I even think Halloween, there was a lot I really didn't like. And I feel like I kind of like them all now in some degree. I will say that even the ones that I used to find to me were terrible because of the look of Michael or it felt kind of made for TV. Like I'm going to tell you when it comes to Halloween, number 4, 5, 6, they were not H2O, Resurrection. Like none of those were ones that I liked at all most of my life. I've actually grown to like 4, 5, and 6 quite a bit through the years. But originally, I was always just watching 1, 2, and 3. And then to be honest, Rob Zombie's Halloween was the next one that I liked from that franchise. But yeah, like now looking at it, I mean, there's really only probably 2, 2.5 that I don't care for when it comes to Halloween franchise too much. When it comes to Elm Street, there was quite a bit that I didn't like either. But now I think when it comes to Elm Street, I pretty much do like all of them, some more than others. But there was a point in time where I didn't care for many of them. But I've grown to love them a lot. But when it came to Friday the 13th, I've always loved all of them. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was just they knew the formula and they stuck with it. I'm a sucker for camp movies. So it taking place in the woods and at a summer camp, I think really helped me really love that franchise because I just love that environment, especially when it comes to horror movies. But yeah, interesting. When it comes to this franchise is because you either love it, but I can see where other people that aren't the biggest fans can disregard some of them as well. But yeah, I will kind of get this thing going. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what's going to go on with that. I mean, you would think it's a definite, but who the heck knows? All right. So we're gonna rank these. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 movies here. Um, and I'm gonna get this going from number 9. So my least favorite of the group, and it's actually the only one on here I really dislike. That's gonna be the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Um, I don't like this. Kind of not at all, to be honest with you. Um, I only have this because I was a completionist and wanted to complete the collection. And I have a thing where I do collect remakes as well. Um, so this had to be on there, but I just didn't. I never vibed with this. Even when I saw it in the theater for the first time, I just couldn't do it. But what's funny is I don't think he was a terrible Freddy. I think there was some aspects, like I thought he looked weird being so short. I didn't like the CGI on the paint or on the makeup kind of thing on his face. But I did meet Jackie at a convention and I got him to sign this poster. Just because I thought it would be something unique to have. So I do have I met Jackie as well. So I met Jackie Earl Haley and had him sign for me a remake Elm Street poster. Even though I do not like the movie, I just think it's a unique piece to have in the collection. So that's definitely my number 9, the last one on the list. Let me just make sure I have that. That is right. 9, right? Yeah. Is the Nightmare on Elm Street better than the first Friday? It's funny because Friday the 13th, the original, I feel like gets a little bit of hate now than it used to. I don't know, man. I have a soft spot for that first Elm Friday. I don't know. I think Elm Street is probably better overall. Yeah, I guess I can't say yeah. I think it's got to be better than the first one. I would say probably Elm Street if we're going neck and neck from Friday and Elm Street. Yeah, I'm gonna say Elm Street. Yeah, it is for me, and I don't know what it is. It's hard for me to explain that, but it just always was. It always will be. All right, so I assume that everybody's last would probably be the remake on this list. I'm almost guaranteeing that. So that wasn't much of a shock at all. But this next one's going to be hard, actually, because I'm kind of looking at this now, and I'm like, what do I choose here? I'm going to have to do this, and I know this is going to not work with a lot of people, but when this movie came out, it was very hyped, and I was super excited. It was something I wanted for such a long time. And I know there's a lot of people that absolutely love this movie. I don't love it. I like it. I like it. If anybody knows what that's from, let me know. But if I had to put this on the list, I don't know. This is hard now already, and I just got to my second pick. All right, forget it. I'm gonna say my next one is gonna be Freddy vs. Jason. That's gonna be the next one. I think that this could have been better. Man, I don't know if I want to do. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. I like Freddy vs. Jason. It was exciting when it came out. I feel like there was more we could have done with it. I really didn't like Kersinger or was it Ken as Jason. I think that's like my least favorite Jason in the whole franchise. I didn't like that Jason. I didn't like his look. I didn't like the way he moved and walked. I just didn't dig it at all. Englund was great in it. I mean, Robert Englund was great in the movie. Yeah, you're right, bro. Hell yeah, dude. Twisted Trucker out of nowhere with the with getting what I was talking about. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say my number 8 is going to be Freddy vs. Jason. So chime in right now and let me know if you think that's where this belongs on the Elm Street list or not. But I know when I did my Friday the 13th ranking, which I did a ranking for Friday and I did a ranking for Halloween. So if you search through my history, you can find both of those. I think Freddy vs. Jason was pretty like I don't low, I guess, on my list, high on my list. So it kind of probably came in a very similar spot as this. I actually think if I think about it right away, I think it's probably my least of favorite Friday film. But yeah, let me know. Nick says we got 30 likes. Hell yeah. All right, we got 60 people, 30 likes. If you haven't liked the stream, like it right now. Tiana, what's up, kid? What up? What up? Congrats, kid. Thanks, man. It's super comfy, super comfy. Just plain, look at plain gray ski. Comfy. It's comfy. It's not a snuggie. It's just a hoodie. But it's super comfortable. I wouldn't be able to do any of that. I wouldn't be able to do any of that. Yeah, I kind of agree. I kind of think I had way more fun with it when I saw it than what I do now. People are kind of agreeing. Freddy vs. Jason. Yeah, I didn't like him. What up, Brian? Freddy vs. Jason is definitely like the narration Freddy does at the beginning of the film. Yeah. Yeah. Like I like some of the kids. Like I think some of the kids are good. There's a lot to it. Like that stoner kid and that whole thing was garbage. You know, with the worm or whatever. Like that was just stupid. Stupid. Giving Jason mouth to mouth, stupid. You know, making him kind of like the baby face, kind of dumb. I think that I think the idea of like them forgetting about Freddy and Jason had to go kill on Elm Street to get people to start talking about Freddy. I think that was actually a pretty good concept, to be honest. I just think it was the story was there, but I think the execution was a little bit off. Look at this, dude. Wow. Hot take right there. Oh god, no, the CGI on the worm didn't look good back then. Now, bro, brutal. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. What up, dude? Go check out Dead Pit Radio. I'm sure that's Wes. He says first 4 he likes, the rest he doesn't care for. I get it, man. I definitely get it. That's kind of where I was saying earlier is when I grew up, there was a lot I didn't care about, and I think that's kind of that was where I kind of fell in that same vote right there. Oh yeah, she was terrible too. Terrible. But I I like Monica Keena. I like Catherine Isabel. Like I liked them. You get the dude from A Christmas Story. I thought he was fine, even though he had a kind of a smaller part. The boyfriend was okay. But there was some characters that I could have did without. I think Robert did really well in the movie. But I just think there was opportunity, but the execution was not what I would have wanted. He was afraid of water. Yeah, yeah. And did remember the trailer? Like the whole thing was place your bets, and I don't think they ever said that in the movie, right? So that scene was cut, which was like basically the tagline of the movie, which is very very interesting. But yeah, like they kind of planned it as like almost like a WrestleMania, right? That's kind of how they hyped it. And I think I did a reel on this, but I had interviewed Doug Bradley, and he had mentioned that there was supposed to be a Myers versus Pinhead. It was written, it was in the works, and it fell through. So with the hype of Freddy vs. Jason and the success, that was what they were planning, and it fell through. And it was supposed to be Carpenter directing, Barker writing. Like, I mean, there was some potential in that, but it ended up falling through. And he kind of talked about that on a show briefly. And it's just very interesting fact, I think, of what could have been, because these like versus things were getting so popular. You had Alien versus Predator, Freddy versus Jason. Like, I mean, people were digging this kind of concept. I got a message. I've been at work I've been at work since 4:45 this morning. So I haven't really seen much, but I did get some DMs, people talking to me about the Keep, and I knew the Keep was coming out. I just didn't know from who. And they messaged me and said it was Vinegar Syndrome, which I think is cool as hell. I think that's going to be a killer release. It's actually something I'm really looking forward to. I love that movie, so it's about time I don't have to have my bootleg anymore. But yeah, I mean that's great news if that's the real deal. I think they'll do a hell of a job with it. But we also saw artwork. I know Wes and I had seen artwork for a VHS tape too, so I don't know if how that's going to kind of coordinate. But um, I see. Makes sense. Makes sense for Black Friday because it's not that far away. Yeah, I'll have to check it. I haven't, like I said, I haven't had a chance to see much today. I've been just so busy, and that's why this was kind of last minute because I didn't know what I was gonna come home to or whatever. So, all right, so that was number 8. Number 7. This is where I think things are gonna get real interesting here, and if Deandra happens to check this out, I apologize now, but my number 7 is gonna be a new nightmare. Um, I don't understand the love that this gets really. I never really was crazy over this. I think it's okay. I think the concept's unique. Um I don't not like it. I just don't think it's as strong of a movie as everything else. It's very different. And I understand what they were going for. They were bringing him back being a little bit more creepy and scary. But I wasn't at the time, like I was so used to MTV Freddy. So I think when this came out and they were trying to make it a little more meta, like I'm not really a meta guy. Maybe that's why I don't get attracted to Scream so much. Like, I mean, I like it, but I'm not like a huge Scream guy. As I have a Scream head behind me and I have all this Scream shit signed, I think it was a huge deal for the genre. It was a special time in the genre. I was a teenager when that came out. I mean, I respect it, but it's not one of those movies, especially after the original, that I go back and watch much. But I think the same thing here. Like, I think it's different, but it's not really my jam. So I think I like it less as the years go on. Um, than I ever had. So that's why that has to land there for me. And I'll explain kind of what's coming up next and how things have really changed. If I would have did this ranking 5 years ago, 10 years ago, this ranking would have been different. Freddy and first Jason would have been higher up. This next one would have been way at the bottom. So I'll talk about that next. But what's up, man? Yes, I did. I did get that. Thank you, Nick. What's up, Mike? Thanks, dude. $5 super. What's up? Freddy vs. Jason still made more money than. Oh, I mean, Freddy vs. Jason was a big success as far as I know. I mean, it was over like Rover, I think. The Crow remake, I've heard like 2 good things about it. I haven't seen it. I will watch it. I mean, I'm intrigued by it. I will still check it out as soon as I physical media or streaming, whatever. I'll definitely check it out. But Mike, thank you so much for the super chat. I'll get you a little super chatty. Here we go, man. Oh, thank you, dude. Appreciate that. So Eli, New Number is his second favorite. So he didn't like that where I put that thing. Dead Pits, A New Nightmare has aged poorly. Most interesting is it basically was an inspiration for Scream. I mean, it was basically he was testing the waters on a different idea. You could tell. It's very close. Yeah. Let me see. New Nightmare is pretty good. It's not one I rewatch. Everybody says, "Jam, I like jelly." What's up, Antonis? What's up, man? All right. All right, number 6. It's got to be Freddy's Dead. It's got to be Freddy's Dead, number 6. Now, like I said, if I would have made this list 10 years ago, Freddy's Dead would have been way at the bottom. I never liked Freddy's Dead. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was too hokey, too silly. Um, but the more I watch it, the more I really do find it fun. And I appreciate it more. It's hokey, but I mean, again, at that point in time, I think that's where Freddy was. If you watch the documentary, which I highly recommend, called Never Sleep Again, one of the best, in my opinion, documentaries on a horror franchise that I've ever seen. That and the Crystal Lake Memories are probably the 2 best horror documentaries I've ever seen. I actually enjoy the Elm Street one more. And they tell you on how, like, basically they didn't know what to do at the Elm Street stuff. They just, had different directors with their stories. It was kind of like they were just throwing shit at a wall and making movies. Nothing connected anymore. And this was kind of, their last big try and to keep this character alive. And it really did get hokey. I mean, you had like Tom Arnold, Roseanne in this. I mean, it was just a lot of stuff. I mean, he's turning into like the Wicked Witch of the West. Like, I mean, there was a lot here that was just like, oh, what the hell's going on? But I do find it fun. I did see this one like really early. Like, I saw this one before I saw a lot of the Elm Street ones because let me see when this came out. When did Freddy's Dead come out? Is it really 91? Wow. See, I felt like it was later than that, but 91. So I was a little kid, and my grandmother had like the pay-per-view channels because we used to go to her house and watch wrestling, and this was on there a lot. So this must have just hit like pay-per-view. So I remember checking this out and for a while. And this was kind of one of the early ones that I watched. And I can just remember it, like, obviously with the kid with the hearing aid, like that scene stuck in my head forever. As a little kid, that scared the shit out of me. So when I came back and watched it as like a teenager, I was kind of like, oh, Freddy's Dead, stupid. More of an adult, I kind of learned to like it a little bit more. But I can appreciate it. It's wacky, it's hokey, but again, I would rather watch that than watch New Nightmare. It was just New Nightmare to me just was it took itself a little too serious, I think, for my taste when it comes to Krueger. And Tana says Freddy's Dead so bad. If I gave my Elm Street, I think that's what it is with any ranking, dude. Everybody's thing is different. See, they had the Power Glove scene. What up, Magic? So I do think that everybody's takes are different, and that's what makes these rankings interesting. As much as I look at mine, I'm like, it's not that crazy of a ranking, but I mean, you do have people that have a lot more hot takes than I do. I mean, and that's what's kind of fun about these is that everybody's ranking is going to be different and everybody's going to disagree and whatnot. So that's what kind of makes it interesting. And that's why you could watch my ranking and then you could watch Christian's ranking and Wes's ranking and Cody's ranking, and everybody's be a little bit different. It doesn't feel like you're watching the same thing over and over again. So, you find one that maybe agrees with you the most. But obviously, with that being said, I see a lot of people who hate Freddy's Dead. And again, it's at the bottom half of this list. Yeah, it's the same thing. I think it really was the first one I watched. I really do, as far as I can remember. Robert loves Freddy's Dead. What's up, man? Thanks for popping in and saying hi. I mean, obviously you love Freddy's Dead. I mean, you got a, what is that? A Diary of the Dead picture. I mean, if you love Diary of the Dead, dude, I'm assuming you love Freddy's Dead. What's up? Side note, I mean, yeah, I would have rather had it be Prom Night 2 because I've already got Howling 2 from Scream Factory. So it's cool. I mean, I love Howling 2. I think it's a fun movie. But I mean, I'll get it. But I don't know. I mean, again, I've talked about this before, like upgrades for a lot of movies don't get me excited. Depends on what it is. If it's an upgrade from a DVD or a VHS to a 4K, then okay, I'm happy. If it's like Scream Factory Blu-ray to a 4K, It's fine, I guess. Um, I'll get it, but I have my Scream Factory one on eBay right now, so hoping I can at least, because that was a very rare one. Hoping I can get my money back to buy this one. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Wicked Witch Freddy, yeah. Yeah, I 100%. Opinions change over time. When I was a kid, I would rank part 2 pretty low, but now I think it's third best. Freddy looks his best. We'll talk about that too. Look at this. Boom. Look at Ricardo, dude. I love the WWE logo, man. Hell yeah. I love that. Thanks for being here, dude. Yeah, it killed it, man. It killed it. Monica. What's up, kid? Thanks for saying hi. Appreciate you being here. Are there a couple new? I don't know. Perhaps. Maybe. But I mean, I would have liked the Howling box set, even if it was just without the first one. You know, you don't want marsupials in 4K. It's interesting, Robert. The worst is part 2. So glad it didn't kill the chance size. All right, so we're gonna go to the top 5 here. Now, what's funny is the top 5 is the first 5 movies. So that's why I felt like there wasn't a lot of hot takes, because my top 5 is the first 5. I do think these are the best. What up, man? I'm not going to answer that question because I'm part of a podcast called the Radpack, and I can even put the banner up if anybody is not subscribed to it, because we are going to be doing I'm just trying to see. Hold on. Okay. We are going to be doing a show in October. We have a versus shows that we do where we take 2 movies and we do a versus battle. And October, we are doing American Werewolf versus The Howling. So I don't want to give away my answer. If you guys want to subscribe to the Rad Pack Pod channel, that's my podcast. And we have a YouTube channel where we do all the video portions of our episodes. And we will be doing the verse battle for Howling or an American Werewolf in October. So you can hear my thoughts then. Catch up. When I was a young kid, 1 and 2 came out. Super scary to me. Then I got older and I Dream Warrior best. Thanks, dude. Yeah, definitely tune in. Dino says Howling. All right, so number 5 has got to be number 5, and that is Dream Child. Look at how cool that image is right there. This is a pretty rare tape because it's got the uncut version in here, which I don't think has ported over to anything since. But again, one thing I can say about Elm Street is the practical effects were really good and really fun. So again, as a kid, I did not like this one. Like as a teenager in my early 20s, I didn't care for Elm Street 5 much at all. Same with Freddy's Dead, but I've kind of learned to appreciate them. I saw Dream Child on cable. That was the first time I saw it, probably as a teenager. And I didn't really care for it. I didn't care for the backstory much. You know, but I've learned to really like this one. I think the little Freddy is really cool looking. So Dream Child has moved up for me. But I can understand if people aren't huge fans of this one. But yeah, that's my number 5 is Elm Street 5, which I've learned to really appreciate. So again, I think the first 4 are definitely my favorites of this franchise, and they always have been. So that hasn't changed. Oh yeah, if you haven't seen the original Howling, I highly recommend getting that. Highly. What up, man? Go check out Beyond the Grave Media. He's doing a lot over on that channel. He says, I really let the Dream Master slip into my top films. I'm part 2 all day. First one I seen. Oh yeah, it's a good tape, man. Yeah, I have, it's funny because I do have quite a bit of Elm Street stuff. So I have the media VHS tapes, then I have the box set with Freddy on the side. Then I've got the double pack for part 1. VHS, double VHS with the exclusive stuff on there. I actually showcase, if you're a big Elm Street fan, like I said, go back into my library. You can type in 5 rad collectibles, Nightmare on Elm Street. So I show you 5 super rad things from my collection from Elm Street, and I showcase like that VHS tape and all that other stuff. Then I've got the DVDs, like got the red set, the one that all the red, and then I've got the box set, and then I've got the Blu-ray set. What up, Davey? Go check out Davey Death Ray. What a fun franchise. Love to see it make a return. Stick around for a bit. Yeah, I hope somebody does it. It needs it. The Blu-ray set that we got was garbage. As much as I shit on Scream Factory, I think that's who should do it. I think if we can get Halloween, Friday, and Elm Street to all kind of look like each other, the big 3, I would love that. I'd love that. Can't go wrong with Freddy, baby. All right, so my top 4 is the first 4. Now, this is where it may get a little bit wonky. I'm going to say my number 4 is going to be Elm Street 4 Dream Master. Look at how great that artwork is. I have all these posters by the artist. Unbelievable stuff. But yeah, it's Elm Street 4 Dream Master. So again, really, really good. I'm going to say that is my number 4. That is another one I watched on cable as a kid. And really, really liked it. What up, Bronson? Welcome, man. It's been a while. Hope you're well. Most underrated Nightmare on Elm Street movie, in your opinion? I will get to that as this goes on. I will definitely get to that as this goes on. But thank you, man. I'll give you a little super chat action. Let's see what I can do here.
That often. Bam! That just kicks it up a little bit.
Thank you, my man. I will get to your answer soon. Yeah, it's Matthew Skiff, I think, is the artist on all these. Let me just confirm that. I think I'm wrong. Matthew Peak. No. Let me see. It's oh my God, who is it? Oh, Matthew Peak did them all. Sorry, I knew it was Matthew. Yeah, Matthew Peak did all the artwork. He did at least up until, as far as I know, he did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the ones he did, I believe. I don't think he did 6. So yeah, Matthew Peak. I mean, he's classic artist. Oh my God, man! I'm hoping. I mean, they've gotten all of Rothrock stuff. I mean, where's the Fast Getaway set? I mean, that I'd mark out for that. Besides George's Dead series, yeah, man. Actually, you know what? I did a George Romero ranking. I ranked all his flicks too. So if you guys like the ranking stuff, I did Friday, Halloween, Romero, Carpenter, Evil Dead, Silent Night, Deadly Night. So I've done some. I haven't done a ton, but I've done some. Monica says she saw part 4 in theater. My brother and I lied about what kind of movie it was. She hated Freddy. That is funny. That is funny. Oh, 100%. I miss them too. I would probably agree with you. And I have the posters, like not replicas or anything. I have them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it, I think. All right, so Dream Master is coming in at number 4. Now, again, I know that's kind of a fan favorite. I think that, to me, is kind of neck and neck with my next one. And this is where it gets really hard for me. 1, 2, and 3 to me are my 3, obviously, favorites. Now, I will say this. Part 2 was one that I did not like as a kid. I didn't like it at all. I was kind of didn't really understand it. And it was at the time, it was one that I thought had great special effects, and a lot of people kind of shunned this one away. And it was always the black sheep, in my opinion. The same with like Friday 5 and Halloween 3. And then it always felt like Elm Street 2 was kind of the black sheep of that franchise for a long, long time. So we're going to get into my number 3. And I'm not going to say it's part 2. I'm actually going to say it's going to be part 3 is my number 3. Dream Warriors. Another great artwork, great VHS tape. You get the Dawkins sticker right there. Killer. This is most people's top 2 easily. Dream Warriors is an excellent sequel. Great characters, great effects. I mean, welcome to prime time, bitch, with the TV. I mean, these are ones that are just seen everywhere. I love this movie. I love it. So again, it's not my number 1, but I love part 3. I love these 3 movies that are at the top of this list. Like I said, when I've said other things, either of these could switch at any time. 1, 2, and 3 are always going to be my favorite Elm Streets, but either could kind of flip-flop by year, I think. And I know everybody's going to at least agree with me that part 3 would probably be in their top 3. What up, Steve? Thank you, Nick. See you later, man. Take care. It's all good. I appreciate you. But yeah, we got 80 people in here, about 52 likes. So definitely, if you're checking this out, hit that like. It's the freest way to support the channel. Hit the like, interact. You can comment, share the stream out to anybody that you're friends with that's into Elm Street, horror, any Facebook groups you're in. Share it on your Instagram stories. Let people know that we're live if they want to come in and interact. Because when I'm done telling you my list, I want you guys to tell me your ranking. And then I'm going to kind of scroll through and kind of see what you guys have to say. That's why I'm kind of going a little bit quick here. So number 3 is my number 3. But like I said, it could really go anywhere at this point. Amazing. I love Patricia Arquette. Love her. So of course, you know, that's going to have something to do with how much I love this movie as well. You know, Heather comes back. I think that's really cool as well. Great cast of characters here. You get introduced to Kincaid. I think he's a strong character in this franchise. I saw the first 3 in the theaters. So 1, 3, and 2 started the best Freddy humorous lines and love Doctor at the time. Yeah, that's, I'm going to say for me, Freddy starts getting a little bit more funny in this one. Part 4 is where he really almost turns to that MTV Freddy. But 3, you start feeling it a little bit. But he's still scary in 3. Off top, have you picked up Texas? Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's like one of the coolest Texas Chainsaw editions ever made. When that came out for the first time, my uncle and I ran to the store that Tuesday, and we're like, this is the coolest thing ever. Perry Finn says, I grew up with a recorded tape with Top Gun, Dream Warriors, and Commando. Love Commando is the last one on the tape. Always kept it at Commando. That's cool, man. I love hearing those kind of stories of, you know, something like that, right? Because then all of a sudden you love Commando, so you watch that mostly, but you always knew Elm Street was on that tape somewhere. And I think that's really, really cool because I think we all kind of grew up with specific stories like that where, you know, maybe we taped a bunch of stuff off TV, which my mother did. She knew I was really into horror, but she was very critical on what I watched. So if it was on cable, she would record it and be like, okay, well, here it is. Because she knew at the time, anything she probably didn't want me to see was cut anyways. So if I wanted to watch Elm Street, I watched Elm Street, but it was from the TV. So for many years as a kid, a lot of these Elm Street ones that I was checking out were straight from the television, straight from cable. So I always saw them kind of cut. Which is very interesting. I think it's a big thing for kids of the 80s during the VHS days and VCRs and whatnot. So, all right, we are on our top 2, guys. Top 2 Elm Street movies here. This is tough, man. I'm gonna change it up here. Number 2 is gonna be the original Nightmare on Elm Street, the OG. classic. I mean, you could even say this could be a masterpiece of a film when it comes to a horror movie. I think everything about it works. The concept, the plot, the killer. I mean, it just all works for me. He's freaky in this one. It's a slasher. I didn't know if it was planning on spawning sequels, but it spawned a lot. And Freddy is a household name and always will be. And that's why Robert Englund can go to conventions and still charge boatloads of money, because people still love him and love the character. But it's got to be number 2. My number 1 has to be, and I don't even like this VHS artwork, by the way, Elm Street 2. And you're right, I heard earlier Elm Street 2 has the best artwork. It sure does. And it's not this. Elm Street 2 was actually one that I did not like for a long time growing up. Probably until I got to be in my mid-20s. That it was always one that I saw early on. And then I heard the community really kind of shitting on it for many years. So I kind of stayed away from it for a long time. Then when I finally put it in, I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. You had the final guy, which I think is really cool. It was a nice change to have, that victim be a boy. I think that was different. I really appreciated that because it just kind of kept to the same genre or the same format, but it just gave you a little switch. You do see those sexual undertones throughout the movie, which again, I think is something different and unique. Freddy looked fantastic. I mean, he has the greatest look in all these movies in part 2. He looked scary. He looked like the devil. You've got the body, I've got the brains. I mean, the effects were amazing. I mean, even that weird effect where he comes out of Jesse's body and you see the effect of him laying there. In 2024, it looks a little bit dated, but man, it still freaking works. Practical effects, no matter what, still work. Freaky, man, just freaky shit on that. So I'm going to see. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me on this one, but for me, I freaking love Elm Street 2. I think having him coming out into the real world is freaking scary. It's unique. It's one of the only times we ever saw that happen, and I just really love it. Him at the pool party, throwing the chairs around. He felt scary but powerless. And I think that was a real cool vibe. I almost feel like I would have liked to see more Freddy running around the real world. Think that's pretty damn cool. It's a great sequel. I think it doesn't get enough love as it deserves. I think it's getting more love now. But man, I'm a huge fan of this. Like I said, I've met Patton, got the one sheet. I got this display box with the outfit that Patton wore on the bed scene. I got the probe box. It was in the back of my old setup out there. But very, very cool. I know this is not going to be the top of everybody's list, but for me, I think it's got to be. It's got to be. It's a real fun movie. And I'm going to see what you guys have to say on this. Gus, what's up, man? Thanks for popping in, supporting as always. Always doing the supporting. Let's see what I can do for Gus here. Let's get Gus. Hell yeah, man. Thank you. All right, let's see what everybody has to say about this. Let's see. Adrian James says, I had Nightmare 1 through 5 on VHS. I can't remember what I did with them. They had cool VHS, man. This is the Nightmare movies ranked, correct. Off topic, first movie I went to the theater to see was Halloween. Holy shit. And we hedgerows on my own. That's crazy. I don't know what the first movie I would have seen in theaters are. Maybe like American Tail, maybe. What up, Ben Grimm? Are you whatting my part 2 as number 1? Is that what we're whatting over here? Wiley Draws, what's up, man? He says, when I was a kid, my dad walked in when I was watching the Raft segment on Creepshow 2 during the gruesome part. This is considered entertainment? So basically, he's like the dad in Creepshow 1, I guess, right? Went to my usual flea market last summer, and someone was selling a beta tape of Elm Street 1. Wow. Ah, sucks. All right, so now's your chance, guys. Why don't you tell? I'll go through this chat, but why don't you tell me your Elm Street ranking? I'd love to see it. B Mag is throwing his out there. 1, 3, 2, 4, new 5. Freddy vs. Jason 6 remake. I can't really say much about that. I think that's a great ranking. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, I love that scene. Love it. Love it. So good, man. Yeah, it almost like he kind of had like a witch vibe too. Like a wicked witch. Thanks, man. Yeah, agree. Yeah, part 3 and 4 have really good soundtracks. Really good. But if you guys are just popping in, I'll go through my ranking again and feel free to put yours down below before we head out of here. Again, I wanted to kind of do this with you guys, get your opinions on it. Like I said, not everybody's going to agree, and that's the beauty of rankings. But I'm going to say if I have to do this backwards, let's see what I did here. So my number 9 is Elm Street Remake. My number 8 is Freddy vs. Jason. My number 7, New Nightmare. Number 6, Freddy's Dead, which is number 6. Number 5 is number 5. Number 4 is number 4. Number 3 is number 3. Number 2 is the original. And number 1 is Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. So like I said before when you guys first came in, my ranking isn't mind-blowing. It's actually almost going backwards in order, really, from when they came out. So that's what's kind of funny about this franchise is I was looking at it, I was like, shit, I just basically like it less and less as the franchise goes on. But yeah, let me know yours down below before I sign off because I wanted to just do this live and didn't want to be on here crazy long. But I would love to see what you guys have to say. And if you are catching us on the replay, put it down in the comments. Let me know your ranking. Let me know what you would change about mine, what you agree with, what you disagree with. But like I said, that's what makes these so fun is that everybody's is going to be different. So if you like these, like I said, I do have a lot more rankings. If you go to my playlist and type in rankings, you can watch a whole slew of rankings that I've done on the channel. And I've actually even done multiple ones with the dudes at Dead Pit. And every Friday the 13th, we each gave our ranking and we critiqued the other person's ranking. So as you watch all 3, you'll see, wow, they all love Friday the 13th, but they're all very different. And then again, that's what I said about rankings being interesting. Hard Films in the house. What's up? He says he's 1, 4, 3, 2, 7, 5, 6. Okay, I could see that. I could see that. Like I said, the first 4 is definitely my favorite. So seeing those right in the first 4 is always good. Got to swear by Elm Street 1. Oh, you know what? Speaking of that, I met Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp. There's a poster right there signed by Johnny Depp. So it was like a brief meeting. It was basically like, can you sign this? Handing it to him. He signs it, hands it back. So there really wasn't an interaction per se. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good ranking, Horror Films. Now, what would you do with Freddy vs. Jason and New Nightmare? And oh yeah, New Nightmare's right there. I see it. And the remake. But guys, on the channel, keep your eyes open because on Friday the 13th, we'll have a special show on Friday the 13th. We'll be going through the Friday the 13th history on physical media. I had done one of those a long time ago, but we've upgraded it, updated it now. So keep your eyes on that. That'll be popping up as well. I don't think I'll be going live tomorrow night. I'm actually recording a couple videos tomorrow night that I'm going to edit and put out at a later date. So I don't think I'll be able to go live. I'm trying to think what I do have coming up, though. I have a lot of recorded stuff I've done. I just got to edit them. If I can go live at some point, I will. I'm going to see Beetlejuice, I think, this weekend, so I'll probably do a live show talking about it. I did a show with my brother trying those Beetlejuice sodas and stuff, so that could be coming as well. So there's a lot in that are done is in the works. It's just the editing. And that's why I love to go live, because there's no editing. And I love chatting with you guys. So, but yeah, if there's any day, like even tonight, that I can get on here, I will do something. There's a lot of stuff like planned. Like me and Mel want to do the other horror icons list. There's, the next Radpack episode we're working on. That is going to be all about Fred Savage. It's all Savage September, a nice little retrospective on him. That'll be on the Radpack podcast channel. So there's a lot. There's always a lot going on, but I appreciate you guys always being here. Rank the gloves. Who said that? Somebody said the gloves. You know what's funny, man? I wouldn't even know. Like, I don't thinking in my head. I don't really know the differences. I really don't. So it would be hard for me to rank the gloves. I could rank Jason's masks. Doug, what's up, man? Thanks for staying in here. He says 1342 new Freddy vs. Jason 5 remake. Freddy's dead. Wow, remake's above Freddy's dead. Yeah, I'm probably gonna catch it Saturday. Freddy vs. Jason would be above 5 and 6. I never watched the remake. Yeah, you're probably not. It's not worth it. Did you ever have the hat and gloves from the wedding singer the kid is wearing? I don't know. Is that the old 80s one? I did have the old mask from the 80s with like the little red thing right here and that like plasticky glove. Yes. So big ideas. Yes, we are going to be doing our annual monster cereal video. Yes. I got something pretty cool too for that video. Kind of a little promotional thing that came out this year. So we'll showcase that. And yeah, we're going to do the cereal video. We're just working on them. So we're going to try to get the monster cereals, and then we're going to get all the different Halloween cereals that came out this year. So keep your eye on that. That'll be October for sure. Those are always fun, and tasting those bad boys, and especially the new stuff. Like, remember, if you guys haven't watched that, that's another fun one we did last Halloween, where we did all different Halloween cereals. And the reaction when we take a bite out of the Rice Krispie ones, that was like called like, what was it called? Like Insane Orange or something. So we thought we were going to get like this orangey citrus flavor, and it literally was like orange food coloring, and it had no flavor. The reaction that we made was amazing. Freddy's Nightmare is better than the remake. I would agree with you. You got Chocula. Yeah, see, it's tough to do those again. Like, we do them every year. But I think there is one new one this year, like a combination box. And then all the fun ones are like whatever they do with the other brands and stuff like that. The Rad logo looks good in neon green. Where? Which one? Which Rad logo in neon green? Oh, on the thumbnail. Thanks, man. Yeah. I'm trying to, if I can color coordinate it with the logo, at least I can have it on there, because I feel like, I'll be honest, I've talked about this before when it comes to the channel. I like to do things to evolve. So for instance, I know the channel's still relatively a younger channel, I guess, but I always try to evolve it in different ways. So for instance, the studio, right? This is a brand new studio. This wasn't the studio I used. This is the first year I've used it. It's only a couple months old. I had the old studio for about 3 years. Now I have this, and that's just an evolution of the channel. A little bit more professional looking, I think, here. And when it comes to even little things like content that I'm doing, certain series that I'm doing, a lot of the series that I feel like do well, I keep. The ones that don't really do that well, I kind of switch them up. But another thing that I'm trying to do lately is I'm trying to change up some of the thumbnails. So usually a lot of the thumbnails I have, it always like would show half my face or something, and it would say something. So if you look at this thumbnail now, it's like Freddy. So on specific videos that I want to do it more like an evergreen thumbnail, like more just what it's about and like a cool big title, and not necessarily have me on it. But what I found is the thumbnails that don't have me on it don't get as much views as even if I do a live show with like me on the image and it says like, ask me anything, right? Like there's not really a theme. Like it would still do better than something like this, because I'm like, oh shoot, you know what? I wonder if people don't realize it's even me. Like if they're scrolling, because the thumbnail is very different than what they're used to. So I'm trying now to add my logo and kind of color coordinate it with the thumbnail on the image. So if people are scrolling by, they might be like, oh shit, that's Garrett's video. Because I wonder if people scroll by sometimes not knowing that it's mine because it's a very different style thumbnail than I'm used to doing. So I'm trying to kind of change them up a little, like not always. I still have my standard thumbnails, but specific ones. Every once in a while, I'll throw more like a universal thumbnail out there. But so keep your eyes on that too to make sure you check the logo because I'm going to try to get it on there. Let's see. Monica. Top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 new. So par 185 and I was 5. And it gave me nightmares when we were being on a bus in Niagara Falls, my family falling asleep and having a nightmare with Freddy. I'm going to tell you right now, Freddy gave a lot of kids nightmares. Not me. But I also didn't see Freddy part 1 like that young. But a lot of people I know have and still have nightmares about Freddy. Yeah, so we already got that one. We got the Wednesday. So that one's the only one we have right now. That and some monster ones. I don't know what else is coming out this year. So if you guys see anything, let me know. But guys, that's kind of what I wanted to go on here and do tonight. If you're watching this on the replay, put your ranking down below. And thank everybody for popping in here live. I know it was last minute as always. But keep your eyes on the channel. There's always content coming. I don't know when I'll be live next. Hopefully sooner than later. But keep your eye on the page. Make sure you hit the notifications so then you at least get alerted when I do go live at the last minute. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you can follow me at Born2beRad. If you're not following me on TikTok, you can follow me there at Born2beRad. And if you're not following me on Facebook, I do have a Born2beRad Facebook group where I post some different stuff as well. And if you're on Facebook more, it's a nice avenue to share. Like I posted something the other day and I think it's got like 1,000 shares or something like that, or 1,000 views or whatever because of all the people that shared it. So if you're on Facebook, find me at Born2beRad, join the community group, and it's a nice, easy way to kind of share things around. You can share stuff to my page and vice versa. But thank you guys. Again, short, sweet, about 60 minutes. We got through the franchise ranking for Nightmare on Elm Street, and I appreciate, as always, everybody chiming in and being here tonight. And like I said, I will see you guys very soon. Keep your eye on the page, especially on Saturday. There will be something dropping as well. And like I said, there will be a Friday the 13th show on Friday the 13th next week. And I hope you guys are there for it. So this is Garrett at Born2beRad. And like always, stay